So we've not seen any demand softening in the first quarter. Our industry is particularly resilient to this crisis, although not immune. There are some markets like Latin America where we see, because of foreign exchange rate fluctuation, that there might be some cuts in capex, but we haven't seen any much beyond that, and maybe some 5G rollouts could get delayed. On the other hand, we have seen an increase in the order book in our fixed and IP and optical transport networks business.
Yeah, I think we're all curious to know how this row with China over coronavirus breaks down in terms of 5G technology and the access that Huawei will be permitted in the West. Do you see that now as changing and a bigger opportunity for you emerging?
Well, we are winning deals in 5G. We're also bringing unique 5G products to the market, like our unique dynamic spectrum sharing solution, which isn't just 4G and 5G, but also 2G and 3G included. Just this week, we announced a mega deal with Bharti Airtel in India, the second largest telecoms market by subscribers. We are seeing that in our 4G and 5G business, we will, likely meet our target that we talked about in terms of 27% market share by the end of this year. And as you said, we are tracking well on our ReefShark chipset and bringing down product costs, and that's why we had a solid Q1 where our margins increased, 3.6 percentage points year on year.
Rajeev, you and your rival Ericsson both stepped up investments into 5G because clearly the demand would be down the track. What do you do now? Do you slow down that level of investment because balance sheet comes first at this point as we deal with economic uncertainty around COVID-19?
Yeah, I think on the whole, in the main, 5G will not get delayed. There could be some countries in Europe where spectrum awards will get pushed out some. We've already seen that happen. That could in turn increase, investments in fixed and IP and optical and even 4G capacity, because the fact is that capacity demand is going up a lot. We've seen capacity demand in just a few weeks that you typically see in 1 year. So that's the offset. And North America will continue unabated in terms of, their 5G rollout. We see the same, in China, we see also Japan potentially accelerating. Korea is strong. In Europe, there could be some delays. But in the main, I don't think there's a meaningful delay in terms of the 5G step up.
I'm curious as to how there is not a meaningful delay, given you started the beginning point where there are problems in the supply chain, the disruptions there. How do they automatically get fixed in your factories too when social distancing comes into force as we emerge from lockdowns? And then in the service delivery, where clearly you can't have too many people on site because of the social distancing rules as well, not to mention the budgets of some of the telcos that might be impacted. How do these various points along the way not get impacted where there's a significant delay?
No, correct. I mean, I think I said from a demand point of view, right? So we don't see a significant delay. Operators saying that I'm just going to push it out because I don't have the demand. I don't want to move to the next generation. So that point. Now, of course, there are supply issues. We saw some 200 million sales impact in Q1 because of, especially China and Asia. We are going to see in Q2, as we said in our earnings press release, that there'll be difficulty in access physically to sites. And our people need to get on the sites to be able to roll out and integrate equipment. And we'll see some supply issues, particularly in Q2 and particularly in those lockdown countries. So from a demand point of view, we didn't see an impact in Q1. From a supply point of view, we certainly did. And I see a supply issue in Q2 as well as some services installation issue because of physical access to sites, particularly in lockdown countries. But then in second half, we still expect a robust second half. Now, of course, we're not 100% immune to the macroeconomic situation, but then that's got to be factored and offset by the fact that you just need to cope with the capacity demands if you're a telco, and not doing so would mean, churn in your subscriber base. So maybe 5G rollouts could get delayed, but I think they could be offset by increase. Like I said, what we're seeing in our order book in fixed and IP and optical. In fixed, we've seen a 22% increase in our order book. Because, you want to put traffic close to the homes and not just close to the business centers, both for the short term and now this is a learning for the long term as well.